Cafe latte from Starbucks. You have the instant packs. Threw that in there. And then they've got these instant coffee things. And I put one of those in it.
That's the stuff right there, huh?
Hey man.
Let me get a look at that. Nice. Good color on that.
Yeah.
Getting that tea going right here. Screaming hot in that corner.
Yeah, you're already bubbling.
What do you got there, Gary?
Some venison chops.
Venison chops.
And some Chicago steak seasoning. See how that differs from Montreal.
Now they're sold by location, huh? Well, I really prefer the Kansas City myself.
I have some of that someplace.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't
know where it is, but
that Providence spice is pretty good. They had maple sugar to theirs. The Boston spice is real salty because it's near the ocean. You know? Get flavored by region. The Dallas spice is filled with a bunch of pepper and tastes like animal hides, like steeds. They render down the animal fat, turn into a spice. Cow spice.
come on.
Well, that cooked fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, it's hot.
Maybe you should move them off center.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because that literally was a minute or less, and that's already charred.
Yeah, it's charred. I don't want it to...
Real fast.
Won't be quick.
That's crazy talk.
Won't be good if it does that.
Yeah, when you're out in the woods that long, that far out, you hear some pretty weird stuff. The plank. Thanks.
I'm going to stab at that. See how that goes.
I'm gonna let it rest a minute before I cut it.
Yeah. I say that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So the juice goes flying out.
Hopefully it's edible.
I'm sure it's gonna be delicious.
No, it is venison. So.
Exactly. Did you hunt this fine specimen?
I did.
Nice. What's the story of the hunt?
Well, it's one you've heard before. That's actually from the deer I got 2 years ago, I think. It's about the last of it now. So, but that's the one where I was hunting with some buddies in Eustis, Maine, and we took off. I don't know. It was probably around 4:30 in the morning to head into the woods, and we're going down a logging road, and I thought I was behind my buddies, but because it was a logging road, it was very dusty. It was a big cloud. I kind of fell behind. I fell back because I really couldn't see. So finally, I caught up to a gray truck with mass plates on it, which I thought was one of our hunting party. Followed that guy. He turned off the main road, pulled over. I pulled over with him. I was waiting for them to come out and make some announcement what was going to happen next, and they just drove off. And I was like, oh. Well, I'm looking, and I'm like, sun's going to be coming up pretty soon. I could see the sky was getting light. I said, I think I'll just sit here, and when it gets light, I'll pick a spot and head into the woods. It was a crunchy morning. It was cold. Had a little snow on the ground, but it was pretty crunchy out. So finally, it got light enough, and I started into the woods. I take my time. I walk a few steps, I stop, what they call still hunting, I guess. I don't move too quick. And I think in some regards, I think it mimics how animals move in the forest themselves. So I got into a point where, I saw there was a hill on one side with some trees. It looked like a good spot. There was a little bit of cover. I sat there. I had the wind in my face, so I knew, the wind was right. And I got comfortable. And I heard the deer blat. It was calling out. And I assume it did so because it thought I might be another deer, because it couldn't scent me because it was in a position where the wind kept my scent from reaching the deer. So I just sat quietly and I waited, and then I started hearing crunch, 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 and same thing. He'd crunch a little and he'd stop.
So the deer came to you.
And he'd blat. He called out again.
Wow.
And I think he thought, like I said, that noise that he heard, I think it mimicked, what a deer sounds like moving through the woods enough that he believed I was another deer. So I sat and I waited, and sure enough, he eventually came out literally right in front of me. Stepped out onto the path that I had taken into the woods. And he was looking, we kind of locked eyes, and I was looking at him, and I was like, all right, has he got enough antler? Because he didn't have a big rack, but I think in Maine, minimum was, I believe, 3 inches, I think, of antler. And I got a good enough look to realize that he had probably, 7 or 8 inches of antler, and they were kind of forked, and I was like, all right, he's not a real big deer. And now I'm having this inside argument in my head.
You holding your shotgun at the time?
Do I shoot it, or,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, as I mentioned before, hunting up there in Maine, for many years now, I've used the Remington Model 7 bolt-action carbine in 7mm .08.
Oh, okay.
So finally, I just said, Gary, it's been 15 years since you've seen a deer that you could legally shoot in the state of Maine. What do why are you having this discussion with yourself? And
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the gun and I fired, and he fell right there.
Was he broadside in front of you? Or
He had started to turn a little bit. I think he was thinking about going back into the woods.
Sure.
And he presented a nice side shot, drilled him right through both lungs, and took out the top of his heart. And he didn't take another step. He fell right there. Right on
No
the road.
kidding.
So cleaned him and went back to the car. And of course, I'm driving my Subaru, and I had brought one of those big ice fishing sleds, so I threw the deer in that, and I dragged it back to the car, and I actually picked it up in the sled, slid it in the back of my Subaru, and drove it back to camp that way. And that's how it came home. So.
Wow. So did you finish dressing it at camp?
Yeah, I just gutted it. I gutted it there in the field, threw it
Sure.
in the sled, brought it back, and then we just hung it. And well, after I checked it, you got to take it to a check station.
Of course.
Get it checked.
Yeah.
So I took it down, got it checked, brought it back to camp, and the camp owner came out and he helped me hang it up. And
Did you bleed it? Did you skin it? What'd you do next?
just hung it, let it drain,
Yep.
at the camp. And then when I got home,
How long? How long did you just let it hang?
just
for?
overnight.
Overnight?
Yeah, overnight. I left the following
Inside like a
morning.
garage or something?
Oh
or-
no, right outside. You had a big timber set up high and a pulley, and you.
How high was it up?
I want to say I think the head was probably about, when it was hanging from its rear legs, the head was probably about hip height off the ground.
Okay.
So
Not that high.
not too high.
Left it outside the front door hanging basically?
Yeah, he hung overnight. It was nice and cold.
Didn't
Oh.
skin it at that point?
No, following morning I loaded it in my sled, back in the car.
Put back in the
Of course,
car?
now he's stiff. His legs are everywhere.
Yep.
So now I got this deer hanging over the front seat, this deer head. And
Antlers sticking in your shoulder.
yeah, so he's
Then you had a 4-hour drive home with
yeah,
50 deer.
I drove home with the deer, and of course every once in a while I'd go by a car and you'd see them do a double take, they'd see the deer head.
I bet.
And anyways, I got home, and I took it to a local butcher in town. And
Call them on the way home or something? Let 'em
No,
know?
I just pop in. I say, hey, I stop in. I've known the family for many years. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, would you guys mind processing a deer for me? And they're like, oh, no problem. And they bring it in.
Hung
and,
it up and...
Yeah, they hang it up. They skin it.
Did they do it that day or they
Yeah,
give it by
they
the next
get it
day?
up. I
How
think
long
I
did it
got a
take?
call the next day to come pick up the
Next
meat.
day, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe 2 days later, I forget. It wasn't very long.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, you pick it up. It's all wrapped. It's frozen. As
Wrapped
soon as
in
they
paper,
get it,
yeah, sure.
they put it right in the freezer. They freeze it up, put it in a box. It's all marked not for sale. Deer meat, blah blah blah.
Right.
They put every package has a stamp on it with a number. That number is assigned to my deer, so that they know each one of those packages belongs to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they charge like, I don't know, what the heck was it, $75 or something, so
Mhm.
for the hassle. Yeah, I could have done it myself at home, but now I've got to take time out of my day. Now I got to unpack. Now I got to process.
You probably don't have a
deer.
bone saw.
Well, I've got the equipment to do it. I could do it, but
Yeah?
the problem is now
You got you got a cutting bench and a saw you can
yeah,
cut meat on.
I just
and-
have a big folding table that I use.
Yeah.
I've done them before down in the basement, but I just
That's cool.
you know, I got home, I had to unpack, I knew I had to go to work the following day, you know, it's back to work, so, you know, you really don't have time. So
no, you don't want to do that, no.
I just didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a lot easier just to...
Yeah. My Pep's his whole life brought his deer to someone.
Yeah. And so, you know, and it's easy, you know, you pay a fee, you know, and
sure.
of course I don't have the means to, you know, make sausage, you know, grind sausage, stuff like that.
Make
so
hamburger and all that.
make the hamburger, and they do, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when I process deer at
They've
home,
got commercial equipment.
It's either steaks
or roast,
or it's
right?
stew meat.
Stew meat, sure.
I gave up on the roast.
Yeah.
I had a real bad experience with the venison roast. Anyways, yeah, it's usually either steaks or
stew.
Or stew meat.
So,
you know, when I do it at home. But
yeah.
This way here, you know, yeah, I want some sausage. What kind of sausage? Well, let's get some breakfast sausage.
Sure.
Let's get some hot sausage. Let's get some sweet sausage. Let's get some burger. Let's get some chops. You know,
Awesome.
You just tell them what you want, and they, boom,
yep.
You pick up the box, and here you go.
Awesome.
Enjoy. And
that's great.
Yeah, this deer was just young enough, just old enough, that he's delicious. He's a tasty
I am going
crib.
to enjoy.
So, please do.
Thanks for the story, Gary.
I think it's rested long enough. A little overdone. Oh well.
Yep, it happens. That
Some parts of it are just right.
that grill was really cranking hot, man.
Well, I wanted to put it on and get a good sear going.
Of course.
The seasoning's pretty good though. At least I like it anyway.
Follow the bone. That's a tough one to follow. Challenging, but we got it done.
Just easy enough. Just easy to pick it up like corn on the cob.
And yeah, I'm gonna do that for the big piece, but I figured
have at it.
a little one I want to debone it. It's good.
So yes, I'm a member of PETA, People Eating Tasty Animals.
Yep. So I can get my camera to focus. I'll go to manual. That's good. It's cooked well.
Well, it's like medium.
I'll tell you, this little guy was eating good, and he's got plenty of fat. He was a round little sucker when I got him. You know what? I think I like that Chicago seasoning better than the Montreal. What are your thoughts?
I agree. Like, looks like a Dre's right up there, a squirrel nest.
Yep. I've often thought that.
Whether or not it's active, I don't know. Might be from 3 years ago.
It's been up there for as long as I've had this camp, so probably 4 years. 3 years at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you say we go shoot some bows before it gets too late?
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking of that earlier.
Am I blocking you? I think I'm blocking you. Sorry about the angle, guys. Couldn't even see Gary, could you?
It's alright. I'm just over here noshing on this venison like a caveman. So. It's probably something they shouldn't see.
I'm about to do the same thing. Yeah, we're both in there. Yeah, good fat content.
Yeah.
The fat's delicious. Now I need to carve. There's a fork.
Yeah.
Never made a fork before.
What's that?
I never made a fork before. I need to carve a fork.
Yeah. I've got one, I think it's up in the truck that I carved a few years back. Cut a splint out of an oak log I was getting ready to burn, and sat down and carved a spoon on one end, and I carved a fork on the other.
That's cool. All one piece?
Yep.
Hold it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. It's long. It's about yay long, I think. Thank you, dear. That's what I forgot to grab last night, too. Forgot to grab my pot.
I have a billy can.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, what we'll do is, I got some venison burger there. I think I'll fry that up. Boil some vegetables in the pot and make a hamburg stew.
Nice.
And then tomorrow morning, I've got some venison breakfast sausage, some eggs.
Nice. I was gonna make potatoes and beans.
Okay.
And I have pasta as well.
All right.
So maybe I'll do the pasta so I can boil it
cook it fast, and then you can make your stew right after in the same pot.
That works.
Because the beans, you know, they take a long time to
Yeah.
simmer and all that. So if I eat pasta, then we can share the pot.
The owl. He doesn't like those blue jays. He did the same thing yesterday.
Right over that hill. He's right there.
I think he's telling them jays to stay away.
There's a lot of mice in this area. I saw one.
Oh yeah.
I saw one a couple hours ago near my tent.
Tons of mice down here.
So this is probably his
Just
hunting
ask
ground.
Shane, he'll tell you about that.
I heard about that.
I hope he makes it out tonight.
Yeah, me too.
I brought bananas and foil and chocolate.
Oh, really? I was gonna do that, but the bananas that to make chocolate rum bananas.
Yeah, I got 3 of them there, and I brought.
The bananas at Stop and Shop were green. I couldn't buy them. Yeah.
Shane brought back some liquors from Iceland for me. Some
No
nips.
kidding.
Made from birch.
What? That's crazy.
Seems like I'm missing one. I think there's 3 of them. Hey, show that to the camera.
Yeah.
Should be another one in here. There it is. Here's the 3rd one.
From Icelandic birch. Arctic spring water, natural birch alcohol. No kidding.
Oh, this is a vodka, I think. Does that say vodka?
Yeah, it does. Also from birch. That's different.
Yeah. So, yeah, he brought those back, and I was hoping he was going to come, because I was like, all right, we'll bring these, and we'll have those bananas tonight. Maybe drizzle a little of that on them instead of the rum.
Yep. Good stuff.
Edible?
Severely.